Okay, guys, so we are going to review writing equations. This is something that you've already learned during the school year, but we're just going to kind of review it because it is very important for 8th grade. So if you don't have this worksheet to print out, just go ahead and, draw this real quick on a piece of paper. You don't need to write down all these word problems. Just work them with me, and then you can show the work wherever I'm showing work. So the 3 important things that you really need to know for writing equations are: what does M, B, and Y actually mean, or what do they stand for? And this kind of looks confusing because I left some blanks that we're going to talk about. So there's a couple different ways that you could see like the formula or the model for writing equations. The one that I like that makes the most sense sometimes, especially if you're going to start solving, is if you write it mx and then the middle, I'm going to put plus and minus, because sometimes it's a plus and sometimes it's a minus. You might be adding or subtracting. So I put plus minus b and then equals y. And that will change next week. We're going to work on inequalities, but for this week we're just going to work on equations. So you should have an equal sign there. So it's not always going to look like that. Okay, the y is always going to be by itself, so that'll always be, by itself over here. But these could flip around. Okay, the m is always with the x, but we could say that the b could be in front. So sometimes you might see an equation like b plus or minus mx equals y. Or sometimes you'll see an equation like you don't know the total, and you could leave the y by itself like y, and then it would be mx plus or minus b. And there's a couple other ways you could do it, okay? But just know that it doesn't have to be in one exact order, but the m is always with the x. They're always next to each other. And the y is always by itself, okay? Other than that, it's pretty interchangeable. So you're probably confused. You're like, what even is m, b, or y, or x? So m, this is our multiplier. So if you see these keywords, I'm going to go next to this m, per, each, or every, next to a number, chances are that that is your m value, okay? So let's say you earn $5 every week, so it'd be 5x, 5 times the number of weeks that you work. Or you spend $10 every week, it would be 10x, $10 for every week that you're spending money. Okay, so if you see per, each, or every, that's telling you that that number is your m. Now b, this is a one-time number, or a starting amount. Or if you see the word initial or fee, okay, that's telling you that that's your b. So if you go to the gym and they say you have to pay $10 per month, so 10x, $10 per month, but you also have to pay the $100 sign-up fee. That would be your b, okay? The sign-up fee, or however much money you put down once, you're not doing it repeatedly, you're just doing something one time, that's your b value. And then our y is our total. Okay, and I just put the equal sign here because, if you see the words that say same or equal, that's telling me that we're using an equal sign, and we are for these, so you really don't need to worry about that. So we're going to do 3 examples, and we're just going to kind of figure out, okay, if I read this, can I figure out what's my m, my b, and my y, and then you just write the equation. So, example 1. Diana is saving $50 per week in a bank account. Her initial amount that she started with was $200. So she put in $200, and now she's saving another $50 per week. She's putting in another $50 per week. What equation would you use to determine the number of weeks x that it will take her to save a total of 1,000? So I'm going to circle these 3 numbers because I know they mean something. They're important. And then I'm going to look around for the special words that are around them. So Diana is saving $50 per week. Well, if I look for per, remember per means that's my m value. So I'm going to go to m, I put 50. Okay. Her initial amount was $200. Remember I said initial was b? So initial amount tells me that $200 is my b value. What equation would you use to determine the number of weeks x that it will take her to save a total of $1,000? Remember, total is our y. So y is 1,000. So now you have all the numbers. You just got to plug them into the equation. So for this one, I'm just going to model this big equation. So let's say it's just going to be mx. We know it's plus because we're not subtracting anything. She's additionally adding more money into her bank account. And we know it's equal. So my m is 50. X, the 50 is always with the, or the m is always with the x. So whatever's m has an x next to it. Plus my b is 200. And that equals 1,000. So this really means if I deposit 50, or if Diana deposits $50 every week, plus the $200 she already put in there, I want to know how many weeks it'll take to get to $1,000. That's it. So this is your final equation. We don't have to solve it this week. We're just writing and then stopping. All right. If you need to pause, go ahead and pause, and then I'm going to move on to examples 2 and 3. So number 2. A water tank starts with 250 liters of water. Every second, the tank is losing 6 gallons of water. I should say liters. I'm sorry, y'all. Typo. What equation would you use to determine the number of seconds, x, it will take for the water to get to 35 liters? Okay? So a water tank starts with 250. So I'm going to circle these 3 numbers because I know they're important, and then I want to look around for special words that are next to them. So a water tank starts with 250 liters. Go up here. If I'm looking for starting number would be my B. So that 250 is actually your B value. Okay? Every second the tank is losing 6. Every. That's telling me that's my M value per each or every. So M is 6, but it's not positive 6 because you're losing. Okay? You're taking away from something that was positive. So this is actually a negative 6. Okay? And then what equation would you use to determine the number of seconds, x, it will take for the water to get to 35 liters? So the only number that we have left is 35, and you know that that really means your final answer is going to be 35, so your total, your new total. So for this one, I'm going to say, I'm going to start with my B. I'm going to make it look like this one. Okay? So I'm going to say B, and remember how we're losing? So we're going to have a minus here. So, sorry. B minus mx equals y. So now I'm just going to plug everything in. I'm starting with 250 minus 6x. And remember, negative, minus are the same thing. If it's behind, if it's a negative, it's going to go behind its minus or subtraction. Equals 35. So if I say this in words, it'll make more sense than just all the numbers. So if I start with 250 liters, and I am losing 6 liters each second, I want to know how many seconds until I get to 35 liters. Okay, so that is your final equation. All right, example 3. A shipping carrier charges $5 per pound plus a $3 signature fee. Write an equation to help solve the number of packages you can send if you have a total of $50 to spend. So circle my 3 numbers, 5, 3, 50. A shipping carrier charges $5 per pound. Remember, per is my M, so 5. Plus, so this even tells me a little key that we're going to be doing addition here, a $3 signature fee. Okay, fee. That's telling me that's like a one-time fee. So that's my B, my 3. And then write an equation to help solve the number of packages you can send if you have a total of $50 to spend. So 50 is your Y. All right, for this one, I'm going to model it like Y equals MX plus B. So I have a total of $50 to spend. Okay, I want to know how many packages for me to spend $50. So I know that I'm spending $5 per package plus that $3 initial fee. Okay? And that's your final equation. So really, really important that you need to get down here is make sure that you have these key words to help you. I mean, if you see the words plus, that's telling you it's plus. If you see, I'll even add it up here. If you see plus, gaining, those are important words. If you see something like losing or draining, that's telling you it's subtraction. So sometimes you'll get a little caught up with the addition and subtraction. Make sure if you see plus, you're gaining, that's an addition. Losing and draining, that is subtraction. Okay? Make sure you have the keywords because that's really going to help you for the rest of your assignments for lesson 1. All right, good luck, guys.